Overwatch 2 does another cash grab. I bet the players are loving this.
Today, it's going to be fun and it's going to be a little bit spicy because we are talking about a delicious consumption opportunity, one of the more crazy ones. With Season 10 of Overwatch 2, Blizzard are giving everybody the ability to earn mythic skins from past battle passes. That is
so cool.
A step forward. However, the monkey's paw must always curl because they're also allowing players to spend $80 to buy those skins in their complete form. So yes, that is one step forward and firmly 2 steps back, because once...
That sounds amazing. And considering they're so expensive, I am willing to bet that it's probably extremely easy, obviously, to earn these skins in the Battle Pass just by playing the game. I'm sure it's not gonna take you $500 to earn the worst skins. And I'm sure the first skins that you can get by playing the game are gonna be the good ones, not the literal worst ones, because let's be real, most skins, all skins, are not made equal. Some are really good, some are really bad. So yeah, remember the good times when stuff like this didn't exist, when stuff like this wasn't specifically designed that, hey, you need to spend money, otherwise you're not gonna get any of the good stuff? Man, those were the days.
Once again, a new season of Overwatch has launched, and we need to talk about how Overwatch's need to alter systems in the middle of their live game to try to meet player expectations, while also satisfying line go up, is just leading to more and more problems. My main personal takeaway is, man, I kinda feel bad for the Overwatch 2 core development team, because it does seem that no matter
I don't.
what they do, some bean counter will force in some really stupid looking self-defeating system. Right, let's get cracking. So,
Hey, remember when Bobby Kotick got blamed for all the problems of Overwatch? I remember. Bobby's currently sipping champagne on his yacht and probably threatening people and having a great time, while Overwatch is still in an absolute poor state as ever. Yeah, but remember, blame Bobby. Blame Bobby Big D Kotick. It was his fault. I'm sure it's gonna turn around any moment now. Overwatch 2 is gonna become good, player friendly, and not nickel and dime simulation.
all heroes are free, all of them, including Venture, which is the new hero that they've put in for Season 10, and most people have been enjoying that character. They've got like...
Well, most people enjoy shit, that is true, and this is ugly.
Movement tech that is pretty fresh and fun, so that's really good, but there's a problem. There's no hero to draw people to buy the Battle Pass immediately, and that means we've got to rework that Battle Pass, because if the Battle Pass wasn't something that people were heavily incentivized to buy, then we would have a problem. Now, do remember, Blizzard's Overwatch developers, they did not get any profit sharing in March. And to clue you in and why, it's because there was no profit to share, and that is even after the team was...
Good. People who do not deserve things should not get things. If you want recognition, fame, adorance, and money, how about you do this crazy thing and called working or trying?
Was cut to ribbons as part of the Xbox layoffs. I mean, it would be pretty grim if they didn't get their bonus because the severance pay to those devs came out of their profits. Maybe that's the case. If so, that would be grim, but...
No, that's probably not how it works.
The core point is, Overwatch 2 is not making money hand over fist, or at the very least, they are burning a lot more than they're earning. Now, to try to make that line go up, we've got mythic skins as an even more important fixture of this game's monetization. They very much are the big cosmetic draw, and they've introduced a new shop system for mythic skins, and that means you can now...
At least Overwatch is getting some updates.
Try them out before you buy them, which, you know what, that's quite nice. You can bring a mythic skin to the practice range and you can check out all of the different effects, so you...
Wasn't this something that people complain about and said needs to be done like literally years ago at this point?
Know what you're buying. What a lovely pro-consumer move. and a pro-consumer move that you really should savor, because that's kind of it for pro-consumer moves in today's video. Now that you've enjoyed that, let's dive into hell together. I mean, hey, at least we got to have some fun. It's hell, it's spicy. All right, here's how it works. Overall, you can still get a mythic skin for $10. That is $10 plus all of the effort of you progressing through an entire battle pass. And that's thanks to another brand new currency.
Dude, again, this battle pass must be the most predatory thing ever. Because this is how failure escalates, okay? You have a game, you have anything, honestly, and it's doing good. And while it's doing good, everyone's happy, everyone's the best at everything, and so on and so on. This works for games, YouTube's, businesses, you name it, it's the same principle always. But when things start to look bad, and you have changed things up in the worst way possible, and you yourself don't even recognize it, and people no longer like your product, you see the money dry up. You don't see the money anymore. And the first thing that you want to do is reclaim the money. So you're going to implement things that no one likes to get more money. And that's how the downfall just starts. That's how the rock slowly starts going downhill and it picks up speed.
That's been added. So, from tier 8 onwards, every 10 tiers gets you 10 mythic prisms. Yes, a mythic prism. And that means that by tier 48, you will have earned the 50 prisms needed to unlock the season's base mythic skin, right? Now, here's how they describe it. Your base skin...
So, this is a base skin? Yeah, they're gonna start off with the bad ones. Yup. That's extremely expected.
And will include one set of customizations along with other cool features such as voice effects, voice interactions, animations, or unique VFX that make you stand out in the battlefield.
So you unlock the skin here for 50 prisms, then you need to spend 10 more to unlock a worse looking version of the skin, in my opinion. Well, this is perspective. And then you need to spend 10 more to unlock something that almost barely changes anything, and it's even hard to notice. Like, the staff's different, and there's, like, you know, a face mask more kind of thing. And then, the really good one that stands out and looks, in my opinion at least, by far better than everything else, is obviously the last one. Nice! Fist bump! You did it, developers, you did it. You nickeled and dime as close to the sun as possible. Nice.
And I mean, hey, fair enough. I think we all do like a high effort skin. Now, by the time you hit tier 78, you will have earned the remaining 30 prisms that you need to complete all of your customizations. So effectively what this does is it gives you a trackable resource to basically mark the system that previously existed, right? So while the battle passes have fluctuated a bit in comparison, this broadly does map on to where the acquisition model for mythic skins was, just that instead of being through the battle pass, it is now in a store with the equivalent amount of currency being just earned in the pass. And it does mean that if you want to buy the skin through tier skips with Overwatch coins,
Okay, so one thing about adding currencies like this that you acquire slowly is the simple fact that this is actually a manipulation tactic. You see, when you're close to that skin you really want, you know, you're 10 prisms away from it, 5 prisms away for it, the closer you get, the more impatient you get. The more impatient you get, the sooner you're gonna start spending currencies of real life kaching to acquire the prisms. That's how this works. This is literally a manipulation tactic from psychology. The closer you are to something, the more you're gonna want it, the more you're gonna try and get it. And a lot of people are gonna break, and they're gonna be like, okay, I'm just buying the 10 prisms, it's not a big deal, it's $5 or $10 or however, and it's fine. That's how they get you. That is how they get you.
You can do that, but that many coins would cost you $120 or so. That's to buy the premium pass with skips and enough bundles. So that's not a feasible solution, but I have good news for you. They have an even higher value way for you to access these mythic prisms. I don't know about you, but like, I don't have any mythic prisms right now. This seems very exciting. So, for the Overwatch fans who complete their pass every season, there is actually very little difference going forward, right? If you're the sort of person who just wants to collect everything available. Indeed, you do actually get a nice benefit. If you don't like the mythic skin of the current season, that's okay. You can just earn the prisms from the pass, and then you can spend them in the shop. So that is a nice baseline upgrade to all the people who buy that pass. And to pull off the store, they've all...
Okay, after this gets implemented, and for the second season where prisms are gonna be a thing for the next battle pass, do you think they're gonna keep the prisms? Or do you think they're gonna force you to spend them so you can't actually just save them up? Because they will have the data. They will know how many people get the X prisms and how much do they buy or what they buy. So if everyone's not buying anything and just accumulating a load of prisms, that's a problem for Blizzard, because that means when the next battle pass comes, either they have to fill it with good stuff so you actually spend the prisms, or they need to find an alternative way to get you to spend the prisms before, or just remove them entirely. So I wonder how that's going to play out in the future.
Also had to codify the process of upgrading your skin, right? And that means that the player will clearly know, like, all the different cosmetic configurations, the colors, the weapon styles. So if you don't want to upgrade to level 4 because actually you like the purple Mercy rather than the blue one, well, you can just buy a more basic version. If you only really like the base Tracer Quest Watch, good news, you don't have to spend prisms in the other ones, and that does mean you can use those prisms elsewhere. That is pretty good. And to go along with that, the team have confirmed in their FAQ that provided the base level of 50 prisms, that is unlocked for a given season, that you will be able to upgrade that skin at any point because it is in your library. And you might be thinking that doesn't make any sense. Well, that's because there is a little bit of the old FOMO in this. But okay, I think it's time we talk about...
Yeah, so if you buy it, you can further do things with it. If you don't buy it, well, congratulations, you just missed out, boy.
The wider design of this shop, and then dive into the messy stuff. If you do not unlock a base mythic skin in its launch season, then it will rotate out of the shop for the next 2 seasons, which is 18 weeks. So as an example, right now it's season 10, and that means you can get the mythic skins from season 1 through 7. In season 11, they will add the Grand Beast Orisa skin from season 8, but you won't be able to get that Mercy skin from this season until season 13. And this is obviously just complete standard FOMO design, right? It makes sense from a business perspective. It ensures...
It's also stupid, because if this whole battle pass is literally created around the idea that, hey, there's mythic skin and blah 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 that you can buy, what are people gonna do who don't have a hero that has a mythic skin available in the battle pass? They're kind of getting completely glossed over, and honestly, currently it sounds like Blizzard has not thought this through. Because what if I don't want the mythic Mercy skin, or the mythic whatever, probably 2 or 3 skins that there's gonna be? Well, maybe they have more, but they're not gonna have all of them. What if I don't want any of these skins because I don't play any of these heroes? What then?
That people are attaching more value to the current skin than anything in the backlog. But it is still FOMO that will drive players to feel like they need to catch up to make sure they at least earn...
Hello, League of Legends Riot's, division of lawyers would like to speak with Blizzard. What have you done with Jin right here? I don't know.
The base skin. And I think that's I say smart. It's smart because it's good at extracting money from people, but it's smart that you set that, like, initial goal that people will feel like they really have to get to. I don't know, I feel like that will just
This does look like a really good skin, though.
Increase your baseline level of interaction with this system, and then as we get into the design of the store, the upside for Blizzard will become more clear. Now this will probably drive, yes, player retention, boost up the battle pass completion levels a little bit, so you could say from a design perspective that's smart. But then we hit the real problem.
They're not going for battle pass completion. They don't care about it. It's kind of irrelevant.
What about the progression outside the battle pass? I want you to drop a comment. If you know what price anchoring is, say you know what price anchoring is in the comments. Have that in mind.
Dude, if you don't, then, well, I'm not gonna say you're part of the problem, but man, price anchoring works so well that there are people legitimately defending the cost of $100 horses in Diablo 4. And why? Oh, you don't get the horse, you also get the special currency. That's so value. It's a horse that still costs like $50. And it's bad. And you're saying it's a good deal because you also get free currency? That roughly costs the same amount if you buy it separately? What do you mean? Man, price anchoring and Blizzard just works.
Mind, because we're going to be spotting it. Okay. There's an intended path which this model kind of pushes people towards, right? And that is that you purchase the premium pass for $10, and that gives you enough prisms to fully buy one skin. If you don't play the character for this season, or you just don't like the mythic, that's okay. You can basically bank up those.
Okay, one thing that I have noticed through all of this is every single thing that we see in this video is essentially just a hot girl. Is Blizzard doing this because they're woke, or does Blizzard just understand that we like to look at hot mommies? Which one is it here, honestly?
Those prisms and spend them on other things. So this is the ideal version of the system in the minds of the lovely humans who designed it. Players literally have more control. They have the freedom to choose what they want. This is
and well, Genshi, or what's his name? I forgot, because he's really popular.
All very positive, and it means for Blizzard that, yeah, no battle pass is really a dud because you can always go and get another mythic. All very positive, in spite of everything else that is being done. Because my god, the other option is $80. It's $80. 80 bucks. One skin. You could buy 2 Helldivers for that. You could buy like 2 or 3 copies of Overwatch 1 for that. You get the point. You can buy quite a lot for $80. So here's how it works with.
It works because Blizzard knows that you're gonna pay that much. Blizzard has so much data. They know at this point they can charge near $100 almost for everything, and people are gonna buy it. Their core player base, their core audience, their core fanboys are gonna buy things up to 100. Well, actually, 100 doesn't work. They put it down on 70 or 80. But yeah, this is what you're saying. This is what Blizzard does. If you fill these surveys that Blizzard sends you, and they ask you how much are you willing to pay, and you're like $100, well, the other option is 10. You're just damaging yourself. Also, you're an idiot.
They're mythic prisms, right? 10 prisms costs $9.99. 50.
It always costs like this, by the way. This is why I said it's gonna cost $10 for 10 prisms. This is always how it costs.
Prisms costs $39.99. I think you can see how much better value that.
Yeah, and there is the classic 75 plus 25 bonus, and it's 25% discount. This pricing, I think it's the perfect pricing. It's statistically the best pricing, because every company does this. Every company that makes a lot of money does exactly this type of pricing.
That is, and 100 prisms costs you $79.99. I mean, you're literally getting $100 of prisms for only $80. I mean, that is player forward, empathetic design. They just want you to know that you're getting a good deal when you spend with them. To buy these skins that can cost $80. Now, in the best case scenario, this is supposed to be a catch-up mechanic, and that is why the base bundle is $10, right? Because $10 is enough for one upgrade slot, right? 10 prisms. But
Bro, calling this a catch-up mechanic is the same as calling loot boxes surprise mechanics.
What about all of the other mythics that exist in the game? What about players having a faster way to unlock this season's mythic? Because regardless of how many times Blizzard say the premium battle pass is the best way, it is literally not the fastest. $10 plus a significant amount of playtime versus a single $80 purchase to get the most efficient prism acquisition method. And then anything that you do earn in that pass can just go to the older skins. And the thing is, you know, they add one mythic skin a season, and each battle pass adds one mythic skin worth of prisms. So that does mean that if you want to, you know, get the current one, but also maybe get a prior one, you gotta cough up. Well, you could continually just unlock the base mythic skins, and then get 30 more prisms by completing your pass, and I suppose you could then slowly but surely over years of your Overwatch 2 career pick up more of those mythics.
Years, that's true. I mean, over years you do pick up a lot of stuff.
Skins. Of course, though, if you do spend $80, well, that will be enough for 2 base skins. Of course, to max out one, you do need 80 prisms, and it is impossible to purchase 80 prisms, of course. You will either be buying 50 or 100. Now, you might be looking at this and thinking, Michael, you're absolutely mad. I mean, who is actually going to spend that amount of money? Well, there's
everyone, considering their price points have not changed. They tried 100, people did not buy it nearly enough, so they put it down to 70 and 80, which seems to be the sweet spot. So, a lot of people are buying this. No questions asked. A lot of people.
There's 2 angles there. Angle number 1 is maybe a lot of people will not spend $80 and 100 prisms, but what it does do, right, is it anchors people's perception of value. The idea is that, you know, at $9.99 for 10 prisms, the 80 prisms contained in a battle pass, that essentially, you know, that's like $80 worth of value on the battle pass. That's only 10. So by anchoring at a super goofy, stupidly high price,
it doesn't actually work like this. Everyone understands. Every single person that has, you know, more brain matter than a hamster looks at a battle pass and says, oh wow, this costs only $10. And if I complete it, I'm gonna get this much, and it's gonna be a lot. It's like buying the big bundle. They're not people are not contributing to a magical price point. This is completely incorrect. This is not price anchoring. It is just the fact that people understand that buying the battle pass is value because the alternative is like 10 to 20 times more expensive. This is how it works.
Kind of makes the battle pass look.
This is why people also buy, you know, it's not price anchoring, it's not the same point, but a very interesting other thing that happens is the battle pass plus 10 levels that you can buy. And that is typically when battle passes are more expensive than, you know, like $10 or whatever. It's like when a battle, well, it actually can happen to $10 battle passes also, but the most effective, as far as I can tell just from seeing how many companies do this, is when you sell a battle pass and it costs like $20 to $30, and then you have like, okay, this is the battle pass, but this is the battle pass plus 10 levels and, you know, some other meaningless shit. And it costs only $10 extra. When you're spending like 20 or $30 and the battle pass extra plus 10 levels of instant gratification costs, you know, $5 to $10, a lot of people buy it because, well, it's not that much more expensive. I forgot what's the psychological name for it, but this is essentially the same effect. This is the effect if a person has spent money, they are willing to spend more money. For example, the most classic example of this is when someone goes and buys a suit for $1,000, they are way more likely to buy some other meaningless accessories that cost like, you know, 20 or $30 a pop. Because they have already spent $1,000. And when you have spent already $1,000, what does 10 or 20 or 30 or $50 more matter? Not a lot when you have spent $1,000, exactly. This is a psychological thing. And the Battle Plus levels works exactly like that.
Like a better deal in comparison. And then, of course, there is the straight fact that the Battle Pass is literally more player-friendly this time around. The player-friendliness bit, I'm for
This
that.
time
The
around.
stupid pricing, I'm not for. But there is another thing, and that is expectations or understandings,
Yeah.
perceptions
No.
on value,
No.
right? So this is a completely goofy amount of money to, to me, to most people, okay? But if you're on some, let's just say, America software engineer, $110,000 a year maybe, $80 ain't that much, especially
Exactly.
when that individual thinks about how
I mean, dude, let's be completely real. If you're making like 40 to 50K American a year, that $80 also is not a lot for that person.
much, or how many
Well, typically. Maybe you live in some kind of hellhole where, your rent is like 80% of your income and then food is another 200% of your income. You're almost on the street. But, on average, if your life is not in complete shambles, if you're not completely off the wall, getting an average salary plus 10 or 20% means that spending like $90 on something like this once a year or once half a year is not the biggest deal ever for a lot of people.
dollars 1 hour of their time is worth. I mean, whenever I was in LA for BlizzCon, I was like, even just looking at a Starbucks, and a normal ass cappuccino could be, once you add a few things, if you want to add, say, another shot, you're going at nearly $10, and it's absolutely mad. Now, over in somewhere like CA, obviously, they're dealing with a really, really high cost of living, right? So in a world where all of the prices are super goofy and inflated and complete insanity, something like this won't seem as crazy to them. And then you think about who are the people who are designing these systems. Literally, what is the world they live in? They live in a world where, I don't know, you go to, I think, is it Sweet Green, and you get a salad that somehow costs 25.
No, this is completely incorrect. These people are not designing these price points based on their life experience. These price points are never picked on the fact, did I go to a Wendy's yesterday or did I go to Red Lobster? Red Lobster, by the way, is closing down. Funny. In any case, no. These things are designed literally on consumer spending averages that the company has data on and whatnot. They have nothing to do with the fact that someone at Blizzard is making, 50K, 100K, or 200K a year.
Salad that somehow costs $25 because money's fake? I don't know. You see what I mean, right? So it does work as price anchoring, but there are people who, in many cases would be called whales, to whom $80 is not much. I mean, tomorrow we'll be clowning on Mike Ybarra for his, his musing on the idea of tipping AAA games. Imagine you
Oh yeah, I need to watch that video. It's hilarious.
finish a game and the credits roll and it just says press X to tip the devs. It just shows
Dude, knowing Blizzard, you know what they're gonna do when the credits roll, it's press any button to tip. And it doesn't ask you how much, it just instantaneously removes automatically a sum. Remember when they did that to the Diablo 4 Battle Pass because they wanted people to use it? They just... typically when you click on a buy Battle Pass, you either get a confirmation window or you actually get a display what's in the Battle Pass and you get to check it out more. But Blizzard just... Okay, if you have a free Battle Pass, it instantaneously activates it. It doesn't ask you any questions. There's no warning. There's no anything. We need to get people to use it. It was great. It was great.
perspectives on what money is that are wildly different. Again, you look at, say, median salaries in the USA, you compare those to the UK or to Northern Ireland, and it's just evidently clear that that's crazy loony town compared to where most of us.
You know what's the craziest thing, in my opinion, about the battle passes? When I played Dota 2, man, I was looking forward to the battle pass. That shit was fun, that shit was value, that shit was free. You got so much out of the battle pass, it was crazy. in Dota 2, no one was complaining, oh, the battle pass is nickel and diming. You look at Overwatch's battle pass and you're like, remembering how to do a cross and buying garlic by the shipload. But in Dota, it's like people were excited about the battle pass. It was great, and Gabe removed the battle pass because it wasn't fun enough or something like that. Bruv. And here we are, talking about a battle pass that everyone hates because it doesn't have any fun or value in it. Man, though, it's just crazy how some things can be this bad and some other things that are pretty much the same, honestly, can be so good.
Actually are, right? And what we're used to. Now, this is all really from the perspective of an existing player, but of course, if you didn't have the opportunity to get the mythic skins previously, this is going to be a strange situation. In the past, you obviously had no way of getting them, and this presented a problem for Blizzard. They would put all this work into these mythic skins to only then throw them in the bin because they were done. The battle pass was finished, right? So now, you could say this is an amazing way to actually give players a big goal to achieve within Overwatch 2. But you can't have the old and the new. There are only two ways to get the prisms. You either pay, which, you can get unlimited prisms and it's very expensive, or you can play, which only gets you 80 a season. Once you've spent the prisms you've earned, you cannot go back and get anything from like another season because you just don't earn enough prisms. So you'll have to pay for them. And you can basically see that this is a design that is intended to go straight to your wallet super quick. Because at the end of the day, Overwatch 2 is not really about Overwatch 2. I mean, it is to me as somebody who actually enjoys the game. I'm sure it is to many of you who maybe just want a fun hero shooter. I'm sure it is to the developers, but to the corporate entity, to Blizzard, to Microsoft, it is a way to sell skins. I'm sure you've heard the phrase, what gets measured gets managed. It's the idea that
I have never heard that phrase.
The things that you measure, that is naturally what your focus is going to be on. And why?
Well, I guess that's it, but man, this is hilarious. No, seriously, just remembering this. Though the battle pass, everyone's happy. Saudi Arabia princes are literally spending 10 million on it. It's like, this is crazy. I wonder if in my Dota career I have ever told a Saudi Arabian prince to rope himself. I really do. Anyway, this was Christopher Sid saying thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I was Bellier. Bye-bye.